On perception and judgment, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Please explain simply in a human tone, which is understandable to every person. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you react to it. Think of it like this. Outside events, the traffic jam, the rude comment, the rain on your day off, the disappointing news. These are like the weather. You can't stop the storm from coming. Your mind, your power. This is your inner space. It's your thoughts, your attitude, your focus. This is like your house. You can't stop the storm, but you can decide to close the windows, light a candle, and make a cup of tea instead of standing outside yelling at the clouds. Where we usually get it wrong. We spend so much energy being frustrated by the traffic, hurt by the comment, or angry about the rain. We fight with things we cannot change, and it leaves us feeling exhausted and powerless. The simple shift, finding strength. The strength comes when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. The moment you say, okay, this happened. Now, what can I do about it? You take your power back. The traffic jam? You can't move the cars, but you can choose to listen to a great podcast. The rude comment? You can't unsay it, but you can choose not to let it ruin your self-worth. The rainy day? You can't change it, but you can choose to enjoy a cozy movie day instead. In a nutshell, stop trying to change the world every second. Start by mastering your inner world, your thoughts and reactions. That's where your real, unshakable strength is. It's the difference between being a leaf blown by the wind and being a tree with deep roots. The wind still blows, but you stand firm.
On perception and judgment, the world is nothing but change. Your life is only what your thoughts make it one. The world is nothing but change. This means that everything around you is always moving, always shifting. Nothing stays the same forever. The seasons change. Your body changes as you grow older. Relationships change. Your job or home situation can change. Even mountains wear down over millions of years. It's like a river. You can never step into the exact same water twice. The world is that river. Sometimes change is scary, sometimes it's wonderful, but it's the only constant thing we have. Accepting this can help you stop fighting against life's natural flow and be less surprised or upset when things don't stay the same. 2. Your life is only what your thoughts make it. This is about your inner world, your perception. It means that while you can't always control what happens to you, you have a huge power in how you respond to it. 2 people can get caught in the rain. One thinks, "This is awful, I'm ruined," and feels miserable. The other thinks, "This is refreshing, I love the smell," and feels alive. The event, the rain, is the same. The experience of life in that moment is completely different, based on their thoughts. If you constantly think, "I'm a failure," you'll see every small setback as proof and feel stuck. If you think, "This is a challenge to learn from," the same setback becomes a stepping stone. Your thoughts are the lens through which you see the world. A dirty, negative lens makes everything look dark. A clearer, more balanced lens shows things as they are, with both good and bad. Putting it together. Simply, life is like being on a boat in that ever-changing river. The world. You can't stop the river from flowing or control the weather, the external changes. Storms will come and sunny days will too, but you are the captain of your own boat, your mind. You can't control the storm, but you can adjust your sails, navigate through it, and decide not to panic. You can choose to focus on the scary waves or on the fact that your boat is still afloat. So the message is, don't waste energy wishing things would stay the same. They won't. Instead, focus on the one thing you can truly influence, your own attitude and your own thoughts. That is what shapes your day-to-day happiness and how you experience this ever-changing journey. Great ideas from the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. On perception and judgment. Everything you hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything you see is a perspective, not the truth. Imagine you're looking at a mountain from one side. You see a steep, rocky cliff. You think, that mountain is harsh and dangerous. But a person on the other side sees a gentle, grassy slope. They think, that mountain is soft and inviting. Who's right? Both of you. You're just seeing different perspectives of the same mountain. Neither one is the whole truth of the mountain. Now let's apply this to life. Everything you hear is an opinion, not a fact. When someone tells you something, like gossip, a news story, or even a friend's story about an argument, you're hearing it through their filter. Their feelings, their past, and their biases have shaped how they tell it. It's their opinion of what happened, not a pure, unedited fact. Example. After a game, one fan says, "The referee was terrible and unfair." Another says, "The ref made the right calls." They both saw the same game, but their loyalty shaped what they heard and believe happened. Everything you see is a perspective, not the truth. What you see with your own eyes is also filtered by your own mind. Your beliefs, your mood, and your experiences change how you interpret what you're looking at. You're seeing your perspective, which is just one angle of a much bigger picture. Example. You see a coworker quietly leave a meeting early. If you're stressed, you might think, they're lazy and avoiding work. Your perspective. The truth might be they got an urgent family call and left in a worried hurry, a different perspective closer to the truth. In human terms, this quote isn't saying we can never know anything. It's a humble reminder. It's saying, go easy on being 100% certain. Before you get angry at what you heard or decide you know the absolute truth of what you saw, pause. Remember, there's probably another side, another angle, or a whole part of the story you're missing. It encourages us to be curious instead of judgmental, to ask, I wonder what that looks like from their side, instead of insisting, I know what happened.
On Perception and Judgment. Great ideas from the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Please explain the said quote in a simple human tone, which is understandable to every person, of course. Here's a breakdown of that quote in simple, everyday language. Think of it like this. An insult, a rude comment, or a bad break isn't actually what hurts you. What hurts you is your own decision to be upset by it. It's like someone handing you a gift of anger or insult. You have a choice. You can accept the gift and feel terrible, or you can just refuse to take it. If you don't accept it, it stays with them, not with you. Simple analogy. Imagine someone throws a ball at you, the insult/harm. If you catch it, you now own it. It stings your hands and you're holding the hurt. If you choose not to catch it, you just let it bounce off or fly past. It was thrown, but it never became yours. You weren't harmed. The quote in 3 steps, choose not to be harmed. This is your first line of defense. In your mind, you make a decision. I am not going to let this person or event control my feelings. I am not going to accept this as an injury. And you won't feel harmed. Because you made that choice, you don't experience the emotional pain, anger, or sadness you otherwise would have. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. This is the final result. If there's no pain or lasting upset inside you, then for all practical purposes in your life, the harm failed. It didn't achieve its goal. It didn't change who you are or ruin your peace. So in the way that matters most, your inner world, you haven't been harmed. What it's not saying bad things don't happen. They do. It's not saying to ignore real danger or injustice. You should address those. It's not saying you become emotionless. You still feel, but you don't let those feelings destroy your peace. What it is saying, it's about your power of interpretation. Between an event and your reaction, there is a tiny space. In that space is your freedom to choose your response. Your peace of mind is internal, and it's up to you to protect it. In a nutshell, you can't control what happens to you, but you have ultimate control over how it affects you inside. If you decide something won't break your peace, then it truly can't.
On Perception and Judgment, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Dye it with wisdom. Imagine your mind as a plain white t-shirt. Every single thought you have, Every worry, every happy memory, every judgment about someone, every bit of knowledge is like a drop of dye on that shirt. If you constantly soak it in thoughts of anger, jealousy, or fear, it will become stained with those dark, heavy colors. That becomes your default color, your mood, and how you see the world. If you soak it in thoughts of kindness, learning, and calm understanding, wisdom, it will take on those brighter, clearer, more peaceful colors. The quote is saying, "You are what you think about all day long." Your thoughts don't just float by and disappear. They sink in. They color your attitude, your reactions, and your entire outlook on life. If you spend your days thinking cynical thoughts, you'll become a cynical person. If you spend your days seeking to understand and learn, you'll become a wiser, more peaceful person. So, diet with wisdom is a piece of gentle, powerful advice. Be careful what you feed your mind. Choose your thoughts like you'd choose colors for that white shirt, because in the end, those thoughts become you.